Hi, my name is Richard DeZeriga from the Microsoft Technology Center in Dallas. Microsoft really reimagined Windows with the release of Windows 8. There's some misconception that that was primarily for just a touch-first experience on things like slates and new cool form factors. However, it was really reimagined for all users, even traditional users that might use a keyboard and mouse. In this video, I want to show you that those keyboard and mouse users shouldn't be lost in Windows 8 because some things are fundamentally very similar. So I'm actually here inside of Windows 7, and here on my Windows 7 desktop, if I wanted to launch an application, let's say that I wanted to launch Microsoft Word, I have a few different options. I could have it pinned to my taskbar. I also could have maybe a desktop icon that allowed me to more quickly launch Word. But in this case, I don't. So what do I do? How do I open Microsoft Word? Well, what I do is I go to the bottom left-hand part of the screen, and I click on the Start button. That brings up the Start menu. So we're going to spend a little bit of time in the Start menu. This Start menu in Windows 8 becomes a Start screen, right? So think about the things that I can do here. I have some favorites that I have pinned to my Start menu. I can also go and look for an application. So if I wanted to hunt through all the installed programs, I could go and find Word. Or I could actually just start typing Word. So the search built into the Start menu is very, very nice to where I can just type in Word, and you can see it finds Word very, very fast. So as we go over to Windows 8 here in a moment, you're going to see that really nothing has changed in terms of how I do those things. I still go to the bottom left-hand part of the screen. I click on the Start button. Now the Start button pops up when I go down there, as we'll see. But from there, from that Start screen, I can now look for a favorite item that I have in that Start screen. I can go and bring up all applications and try to hunt through all my applications that I have installed. Or I can type, just like you saw here. I can just start typing and looking for an application. So again, this Start menu becomes a Start screen in Windows 8, and it gives me much more real estate. And let's take a look at that experience. So here I am on my Windows 8 Start screen, and you can see that it looks very different to the Start menu, but the concept is the same. I have a number of pinned applications. Here's some favorites, and if I scroll over, you can see news and different items. So if I wanted to launch an application, I could very easily find it here in the list. But ultimately, remember, maybe I'm not even here. I'm somewhere else in another application. So maybe let's go in and look at weather here today. So regardless of where I am, any application that I'm in within Windows 8, I can always, if I need to find a new application, I can go to the bottom left. This is no different than Windows 7. I go to the bottom left. There's my Start button, right? My Start button pops up. If I click it, it takes me to the Start screen, right? So it's exactly like I would do things on Windows 7. I'd go to the bottom left. I'd click on the Start button. It would bring up, this type of experience. So again, if I'm on my desktop, if I want to bring up, the applications and find a different application, I go to the bottom left, it brings up the Start button, I click on it, it takes me to the full Start screen. So really the difference is that Start menu blows up to become a full Start screen. From here, I can do all of the same things. If I wanted to, find an application, I can either just find it in my list of favorites. I could actually just type it in. If I wanted to bring up Microsoft Word, I could just start typing Word. You can see I didn't have to click on anything. I just started typing, and it brings me up all the different matches for that. So I can see I have Word 2013, Word Search, Wordament, and WordPad. The other thing I can do is I can bring up a list of all my applications that I have. So just like in a Start menu, if I wanted to hunt through all my applications, I can do that. So the way I did it here is I actually just pressed Escape on my search. But the other way I could do it is if I'm back on that Start menu, and this is probably the only new change, and this is an important change, is I can do a right click. So if I do a right click, that will bring up an option to view all of my apps. So you can see the little button there. And that right click it's something that's going to be important in all the modern UI apps. That basically brings up contextual information for the app. So in this case, it contextually lets me go and view all the applications from that Start screen. So you can see here I can scroll through all my applications and pick on what I want. So just a quick video. Hopefully you guys can see that we really haven't changed some of the fundamental things for some of our traditional keyboard and mouse users. And so go out, get Windows 8, be excited. There's some fantastic things in here. And don't be scared of just the fact that we've moved that start menu to something of a full start screen. Thanks a lot.